Okay, welcome everybody to today's presentation. This is for Aureus Alliance Holdings, where we're building gold-backed impact ventures to give back to the community. And how we can do this is by mining real gold and other minerals
Yes.
that will, that will provide real profits. All right, so firstly, everybody is purchasing shares in the company itself, in Aureus Alliance Holdings, not in any of the ventures. This means that as the company is growing and it's going into gold mining and silver mining and diamond mining and property development and IT sector and everything, the dividends that you are getting is going to be increasing. It doesn't matter if you're buying a share now or you're buying a share in 6 months to a year from now. But the difference is going to be the cost of the share. Every sixth of every single month, the share's value is going to be increasing. And there is a possibility that the shares will also be decreasing, depending on how many shares is left from the previous phase. So each share is worth $1,000 by CIPC. These are par value shares. They're not no par value shares. Okay, so this means that they got a locked-in value, but this is their minimum value of $1,000. This doesn't mean that you can go and give these shares up for collateral yet, right? In the future, you will be able to do this once the mining operations is up and running. So currently, we have got a greenfield piece of property in Zimbabwe, which is 250 hectares big, and we want to have two eco-friendly wash plants up and running by January 2026. Okay, then we're going to collect all of the tailings over this 250 hectares, bring it to our central point where the wash plants are, and we're going to start processing the pay dirt. Right. Once the piece of land is basically mined out to solid rock, then it will be rehabilitated into a natural pliable state. Okay, so we're not doing traditional open cast where we're going deeper and deeper into the ground, except where the actual vein is going to be found. So there's a total of 1.4 million shares. And once these 1.4 million shares are sold, that will be no longer than July 2027. And this is while stocks last. All right. So we're not just focusing on affiliates to market. We, as a company, is also looking for other institutional VC investors that are coming on board. Currently, we have got a deal with a person in Dubai that's looking to put in anything between 3.5 and $10 million. All right, so that will buy out a couple of phases. They have to buy according to the phases and the price per phase. But once this 1.4 million shares is sold out, then we're going over to the Aureus marketplace where you can sell the share for $1,000 or more. And the reason why we can lock it in at $1,000 as minimum is because of it being valued by CIPC for $1,000. So, like I said, we got this 250 hectare greenfield site. Now, greenfield means that there has never been any mining done with physical machines, all right? That doesn't mean that people didn't go dig around with pits and so forth, but no heavy machinery has touched the land. Okay, there's a minimum of 2.1 tons of gold, 2,160 kilograms of gold, and quickly gonna look what the value is of gold. So gold per kilogram, this is how you're working it out. You go to gold per kilogram on Google and you'll find the actual value of gold per kilogram right now is $130,000. Right, so if we take 2160 times $130,000, that comes to $280,800,000. That is what the amount of value for currently. Gold's value is going to keep on increasing. It will recover, retrace back down, but then it will go up again. And it's got a lot to do with politics and what's going on in the world at the moment. But we believe everybody is going to go back to a gold back type of currency. Okay. So on this 2,160 kilograms of gold, that's in the first 80 centimeters, there will be a 45% deduction. This is for all the expenses, including tax of mining the gold, and then that is divided between the shares. Okay, so it's not divided between the shares that's currently sold, it's divided between the entire 1.4 million shares. That gives $110 dividend. All right, that means $110 per share. So if you've got 10 shares, you would have $1,100, right? For example. Then we're going to be expanding. Our target is to get a minimum of 3.5 tons annually. So that we want to achieve by June 2027, but it might take longer, even up to December, right? But from 2027 onwards, we want to have a minimum of 3.5 tons. This will generate about $178 annually, but it can go up to even $500 or $1,000 or more. The reason being is because we're not just doing this 250 hectares. We're going to be expanding across Africa to over 6,000 hectares, building over 257 plants. Okay, so our target is to reach 100 tons of gold over these plants by 2035. So 100 times 1,000, that's 100,000 kilograms times $130,000. And remember, this is not 2035, so the gold rate could be a lot higher than $130,000. All right, but minus 45%. So now we're talking about billions here, divided by 1.4, and that gives us $5,107. So to give you an indication, in South Africa, that would be 86,000 Rand. That's for one share. That's for one share. Think about it like this. So we're talking about a 10-year plan, 10-year growth plan to get to this. So this is not something that we're going to achieve in the next year or two. This is a 10-year plan because we're going to stretch across Africa. Now, we're not just about mining gold and going into other ventures. We also have got a huge a CSR, corporate social responsibility, that we have to do, all right, and that we want to do. We want to, and we're really going to go above and beyond what the normal CSR does. We are going to be building the S.U.N eco villages, which is called Eco World, and these smart villages will provide a food, clean water and clean energy, as well as a clinic and a school. Right, so each eco village will have that facilities. There will be an overburden on every single one as they are growing, and that will be transferred over to starting up the next eco village, and it will carry on like that. So eventually, all the eco villages will working together, and they become completely self-sustainable. Now, one of the reasons why we specifically chose education is because when we went to Zimbabwe, we went and we saw how the kids are walking 5 to even 15 kilometers through the bush, through lion-infested areas. And yes, there are some lions in Zim. They got their parents to go with, but this has even been documented on YouTube, where you can see this, and not from us, but from other people, from journalists and so forth. So these kids are walking to school because, and especially in Zimbabwe, if you don't have an education, you got big problems. The only place where you can actually go for work is to South Africa, right? And then you come into work as a domestic worker. But in Zimbabwe, they take education very, very high. I mean, I saw that personally as I was going there for over eight months between South Africa and Zimbabwe and back. So you can see there, I am over there. Now, a lot of my members in S.U.N, they won't recognize me there. I used to have very long hair and a big beard. That's all got cut off when I went to Zim. It's too hot there. Number one, like you drink about 2 liters of water by midday. By this time, you're down on about 2 liters water already. But it's an absolute beautiful country. So we went there. We went and looked at the venture. I went and made sure that this is real, so I can bring it to my community. And then So we did interviews and so forth. This gentleman over here, he looks a bit like me, a bit older than me though. He is the owner of Yagden Engineering, and we're going to be employing his company to build our wash plants. So we're not importing wash plants from other countries. We've got our engineering company that's going to be building the plants on site, or fixing the plants on site and building the plants by the company itself. And the reason being is that if anything breaks down, they come out, they can fix it. Okay, so we have got minimal downtime. These two gentlemen over here, they are gold experts. They come from India. They've been living in South Africa for over 10 years, and they've got 5 gold mines in Zambia. They specifically came for a request by the CEO, Mr. Donovan James. He's over there, and over there. You can see he's all over the place. Right. Mr. Donovan James has been exploring Zimbabwe and Zambia since 2016, looking for the perfect piece of property, and that is a gold bearing, and he found this area and started partnerships and so forth. Okay, so they came through as gold experts to come and look at the land. The reason being is because of the grass. All right. Now, before I move over to that, these two pictures here, you can see here he's holding a rock. That rock gets crushed. It goes through the crusher plant. So a whole bunch of that rock will go through the crusher plant, and then afterwards, that tailings will go into the wash plant, and it will get fine traces of gold and gold nuggets. You can see there's some gold nuggets over here. This was just done with pitting, about 2-3 hours of digging, and then using panning methods to that was just to test the grade of the soil to see what the thickness it needs to be for the machine. This gentleman over here, we're sitting with a suit in the middle of the bush. He's very important. He's part of government of Zimbabwe. He's the advisor of the president. And he came to the land to make sure that what we are doing is the real thing. We're not coming there to just take the gold and run. Our plans and everything is in place. So we need a lot of water, and you can see we have got topsoil water, and we got water underneath in the riverbed. Here's this gentleman here again. We had this interview, and the reason why we stopped here is you can see the grass is extremely green, and that's the reason why he came through. He wanted to see this grass by himself with his own eyes, and the reason being is that the more iron oxidation there is in the soil, the greener the grass is. But the importance of it is that the more iron oxidation there is, the more gold is found in the area. Okay, so you can see that between here and here, there's a high concentration of iron oxidation, which means there's a lot of gold found here. This is on another property. This is not part of our project. These are artisanal miners. They're about 10 to 15 kilometers away. I'm 100% can't 100% remember exactly how far, but they were a distance away from Kadoma. Okay, we went and stopped there by them to see what they're doing, how they're doing it, and to come and speak to them and see if we can help them in the future. And they're using basic wash troughs, all right, basic tools and machinery to be able to mine out the gold. Very dangerous job to do, not just to get the gold out of the ground because that pit can collapse, but also to sell the gold, right? So we are going to be helping these people by buying the gold from them and helping them to teach them and guide them on how to do it effectively. We also traveled throughout Zim to build public relations. We went to universities, we went to churches, we went to schools, we went to communities' houses. We introduced the business so that people understand what we are coming to do there as foreigners. We're not just coming to mine out the gold, we're actually coming to uplift the community. Right, so there's a total of 1.4 million shares. These 1.4 million shares, we already finished our pre-sale. There's 320,000 shares at $10 each. So there was some of the shares that was transferred from the pre-sale over to the main phase 1. And on each phase, whatever shares is not sold will be transferred over to main phase 1. Okay, will be transferred over to the next phase. So the shares value is from $10 to $1,000. South African rands is accepted for the first 3 phases. We might increase it up to 5 phases. It depends on our financial stability here in South Africa. Um, the reason being is because whatever South African rands we have here, we have to convert over to US dollars, and that transaction fee is up to 7.5%. So we can't afford to lose that. If we get big investors that buys millions of rands of shares, yeah, then we will most probably stop the South African payments and it will go over to bank. Right. But we have got other payment method that might also be coming in. We will be speaking about it later. It also will include a card, a crypto card that can be used to pay for your bills and pay for your expenses as well as draw cash. All right. So you would be able to use this for your commissions or as well for your dividends. All right. So the commissions I'm talking about is for the affiliates, which I'll speak about just now. Right. Then for all the phases, we are accepting USDT, which is a cryptocurrency, and we're accepting it in the Polygon network. So there's a total of 20 phases. 35% will go towards Aureus. S.U.N will get 25%. Our charity, which is Ubuntu Helping Hands Foundation, will get 10%. And then the affiliate commission is 15%. This is direct sales commission, right? It's like buying a product on Amazon. You like this product, you think your friends like this product as well, and then you take this product and you get an affiliate link and you advertise it, and then when they buy it, you earn a commission. That's a direct sales commission. It's 15%. Right. Then we also got our Gold Diggers competition. The Gold Diggers competition is for the top 10 affiliates of every single phase. Our last Gold Diggers competition for the pre-sale, the winners won over $17,000. Right, so now we're in phase one. Total of 320,000 shares. Total will be raised is $3.2 million. Right, this will set up our first two wash plants and mark off the 250 hectares, secure it, fence it, and get our security teams, and we'll actually start getting the gold processed. Okay, so our goal is to complete this phase one, but whatever cells is not finished with phase one, it will go over to phase two, right? So now the question is, what if we don't sell out phase one? What's going to happen then? Whatever amount is coming in, we are sending through to Zimbabwe, right? Excluding what is going to the competition and to the affiliates. And the reason being is that we want to make sure that by January we have something on the ground. Okay, even if it's not 200 tons per hour wash plants, even if we can just get 150 ton per hour wash plant, we'll be processing slower, but we'll be proving, the land is real, the business is real, everything is real, and we know that the shares will then start selling out quicker. All right, but during this time, that does not mean that the phases will end or stop or will pause. They will continue every single month. On the 6th, it will move over to the next phase. All right. This means that next month, on the 6th of December, the price will become $15. Where it's currently $10, will become $15. Then in February, it will become $20. In March, it will become $25. In April, it will become $30. So in April, that is when the first dividend is paid out, right? So the first dividends will be paid out to all shareholders. Please do not unmute yourself. Then this will carry on up until phase 9 with when it's at $50, then it will go over to $100. And then from there, it's going to increase by $100 on every single phase up until phase 19. All right. By the time that we are finished with phase 19, does that mean we will have 257 wash plants up and running? No. We will have the capital to have our 257 wash plants. Okay. By that time, we will have probably about it depends. The phase 19 could end tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen. Or tomorrow's a bit quick. Let's say by December. Okay. We've seen this happen. where some systems where they collect funding in for like 25 to 30 million dollars within a week or two. Okay, so we don't know what is going to happen in the next month or two. But my estimate is that by July 2026, not July 2027, by July 2026, that all phases will be sold out. And the reason being is number one, people have been getting their dividends, right? The first dividend payout has been made, which means everybody that joined in the pre-sale and phase one and possibly even on phase two, they have received what they put in, capital they put in, right? So they know that this is real. This is 100% real. And everybody else will know this is real because the mining procession will be up and running already long time. Okay. And the second reason is that everybody is going to jump to get those shares. I have seen what can happen in 3 months, and my estimate is on July. Okay, because by July, everybody's going to push to get their second dividend. Okay, let me explain how this works. If you purchase your shares in after April, you're not going to get a dividend for April. Okay, you will only get your dividend in June, right? So if you are only coming in May, you will not get your dividends in June. You will only get your dividends in October, right? So the quicker shareholders come on board, the quicker they purchase shares, the more dividends they're going to get for 2026, right? But then 2027, that will be entirely different story because there we have got no setup. We already have the entire 250 hectares up and running, full production, and we will start already going down to Mutare. And in Mutare, we have already got agreements for 1,900 hectares of additional land that needs to be prospected and see what is in the ground. Okay. We know that there is copper, and where there's copper, there's a high possibility to get gold. And so it's not just gold that we're going to be selling. We're going to be selling whatever minerals comes out of the ground. We know on our 250 hectares that there is already copper, there is iron, and there is platinum, and there is, of course, gold. Right. Okay, so that's the end for the presentation. Thank you, everybody.